everyone. So good to be here with a very few, of course. And I think I will take the anecdote from the previous panel. We'll keep it very sweet, very short, and full of takeaways. I think that's the plan. The format is a little different. We took some time out before getting on the stage and to see how it goes. Very privileged to be with the two leaders, and this is pretty much like a conundrum that we're going to break today. The CIO CFO conversation. I have a different format, like I promised, and let me get started. I'm going to begin with first, Raghupati, over to you. All right, so my question for you is that how the CIO and CFO collaborate to design the agile finance and IT functions in order to harness the enterprise growth.
Agile finance and IT functions for enterprise growth. Yeah, good evening everybody. I think 50% attendance is there as of now, but that's fine. Thank you. Thank you, the ET, to host us and giving this fantastic opportunity to interact with people here in a residential environment. So thank you a lot. Like this, that's better. See, I'll give you a little bit context from where I come from. I belong to a large unified family, and we have scores of people. My grandparents had a dozen children. I'm talking about children, not bananas. Because whenever dozen comes in India, we discuss about banana. So, a dozen children, 6 boys, 6 girls. So the balance was also delicately maintained. So, and as it was happening that point of time, each of these people married and had children. From 3 to 6 children each. So if you take an average of 4, then also 48 children and 12 people, 60 people are there in the family. Right. And then from the mother sides and from the aunt side and all. So whenever a function is there happening at our home, we have 110, 120 people at home only. And at that point of time, something like 3 to 4 days before and 2-3 days later the functions, people will stay. So when I was going through the teenage years, so there are 50-60 children were there who will be running helter-skelter everywhere. So my father or uncle will say, "Beta ki story ho rahi sunao." So I learned storytelling by getting these 1 year to 12-year-old children sitting there and telling them stories. And these will be customized stories. Like somebody will say, I need a fairy in that story. Somebody will say, I need a tiger. Somebody will have a demon. So you need to do this customization ex tempo and do the storytelling. So I think let me have that skills that I have acquired at my teenage, use that here for this million times repetitive topic of CFO-CIO relationship. So get this some color. So let's say there are two people, CFO and CIO, like Sinha ji is here and I am here. So I am the CFO, he is the CIO. So let's say Ram and Shyam are there. So any name you can take. So Ram is generally thinking, I'll tell you in a chaste Hindi so that जो भावना है आप समझोगे CFO के कैसे होता है. जैसे कि अभी हम इम्प्रॉम्प्टू सेशन कर रहे थे वैसे CFO सोच रहा है यार ये कहाँ से आ जाता है, उठ के आ जाता है, बोलता है मुझे ये लगाना है, वो लगाना है, ये सॉफ्टवेयर चाहिए, वो एप्लीकेशन चाहिए, उस एप्लीकेशन के लिए मुझे ये हार्डवेयर चाहिए, उसमें इतना पैसे होगा, उसके लिए ऐसे इतना रोम चाहिए, इतना रैम चाहिए, उसके लिए मुझे ये पूरा चेंज करना पड़ेगा, फिर उससे क्या फ़ायदा होगा, वो उसके पास कोई मेजरेबल डाटा नहीं है कि उससे क्या फ़ायदा होने वाला है, क्या है, कितना पैसा लगेगा वो भी उसको पूरा एस्टिमेट नहीं मालूम है। और फिर उसे जब पूछते हो कि भाई कब तक होगा, तो बोलता है मैं पार्टनर से बात करता हूँ, पार्टनर बोलता है कि 3 महीने लगेगा, कोई बोलता है 6 महीने लगेगा। वैसे उठ के आ जाता है और जब भी उसे पैसे वैसे की बात करो वो भागता है। वो तो बोलता है मैं तो टेक्नोलॉजी समझता हूँ। और शाम सोचता है यार ये कहाँ से उठ गया है लाला, जब भी टेक्नोलॉजी की बात करते हो ये पैसे की बात करता है। बोलता है कितना पैसा लगेगा, कितने दिन में करोगे, कितना उससे फ़ायदा होने वाला है, रिटर्न ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट, फालान ढिमकान, यही सब बातें करता है। तो ये दोनों के बीच में यही चल रहा था। इनका जो सीईओ था, लेट्स से उसका नाम वाल्मीकि, तो वाल्मीकि ने देखा कि भाई ऐसे तो चलेगा नहीं, इनका दोनों का काम हिसाब किताब चल नहीं रहा। उसने बोला फ्रॉम टुमारो आई एम गेटिंग एन ऑफिस ऑर्डर that you change your roles. So Ram became CIO and Shyam became CFO. Right. So when they started, when Shyam becomes the CFO, he understood that from where the promoters coming from, the investment is coming from, what they are looking towards when some money is being invested or spent or whatever it is, what is the ask for that? For spending money on anything, what is the requirement from where they are coming, what are the challenges as a CFO you face whenever there is a budget is there, how you will be getting out of it, what kind of benefits that you will be getting, whether it's measurable or not. So all these things the CIO understood. And the CFO then he went into it, the technology part, what is technology, what new 5-7 years ago he has seen and all, now everything has changed and new technology has come up, new way of doing the same things, faster, smarter ways are there, and it's definitely, if not in a tangible, some intangible way also some benefits will come. And he also understood and appreciated everything is not quantifiable in the world. So quantification from finance perspective is fine, it is required, it is essential, but everything cannot be quantifiable. You can have some approximation there. So both of them understood by change of these roles, and the organization benefited out of it. So this is the story that I'll tell how it happens between CFO and CIO's interface and how they can.
You're right.
Right. Please.
So just to add on, so CIO and CFO, if we talk about if I talk about the CIO perspective, the role has really got changed. If we talk about the earlier ages where IT heads were there, ADP managers were there, they were only in silos working, and one vision was there, how I can put the technology into this overall organization perspective. But if you see the current era where a CIO role has how it's emerged, if you look the CIO, it resemble a kind of binocular if you see the CIO correctly. So in that binocular, if you see, we have two vision right now. One vision is how I can take the IT and technology forward, how we can ensure the best of the best technology is embedded in the enterprise culture. And second vision, where right now all the CIOs are currently focusing on, is a strategy. How we can align our technology initiative with the business strategy. So right now, none of the CIOs is only working in silo for putting the technology, just implementing some of IT systems right now. So that relationship has really emerged, and CIOs has also taken a leap towards the engagement with the C-suite member, not within the function, but outside the function also they are doing the cross-functional alignment.
Thank you. Actually, what the CFO wants basically to have an agile finance function is that he needs to have this dependency on Excel sheet lesson. Most of the organizations in most of the data run on Excel sheets. This is a practical thing, whatever SAP, etc., whatever HANA, etc., whatever we are doing, but it is an SAP. Second thing is that there has to be a data which could be easily drawable from a cloud technology across locations. The third thing is that the periodic closing that we do, monthly closing, quarterly closing, and half yearly, yearly closing kind of, if this could be automated in some way, so that the time consumed for these activities are days and it is really tiring on the part of the finance team there. Then the kind of use of digital technology and artificial intelligence to get real-time data analytics and insight into analytics and all, so that you can forecast how the consumer is behaving, and in that way, what are the business forecasting you have done in terms of the business planning and analysis you have done in terms of the revenue, in terms of the profit, in terms of the cost that you are incurring. If you could really, and real-time basis, you can get those data, then for that you need, this is for agile finance function. So for all of this to happen, the best business partner that the CFO would look for is the CIO only. He will only deliver all of this to the CFO to have an agile finance function so that the organization benefits out of it. So CFO, CIO is something they have to work upon very closely, coordinate very closely to deliver the results for the enterprise to benefit.
Absolutely. I think that's a wonderful story. I hope our audience connected with it. Anand, I'm going to come to you very quickly. I know in the interest of time.
Less time, less audience.
That was hard. But that's absolutely fine. We still have about 3.5 minutes. I think last 2 years, we've all, spoken a lot about how technology has been a bedrock to a lot of things. How can I not ask this question to you, that how do you see that technologies help to mitigate risk in the enterprise? And I'm going to take one anecdote from both of you.
See, first of all, I always discuss within my fraternity and all. So we are not here to put the technology, first of all. You should ask me how you have solved a business problem using the technology. So that is our motive. We are not here to just put any kind of technology, be it AI, ML, or kind of any platform. So I really agree, and I proudly say technology has really solved a lot of business problems within this 2 year or 3 years. So if you're coming about risk management, so one of the prime risks for any enterprise in current days is cybersecurity. When we are sitting here, we are enjoying the conference, we are not risk-free. I don't know, whenever I get a call, there is a ransomware attack. CFO will get a call that some hacker is asking this much of amount because they have encrypted all kind of data. So one prime risk current days is cybersecurity. So technology leader like us, how we can help enterprise to manage this enterprise level. Of course, we can have all kind of controls implemented using this latest technology. How we can mitigate all kind of vulnerabilities around the overall system. How we can reduce the exposure of all our application while it is talking to multiple cloud and hybrid cloud, or maybe a SaaS platform where our data is getting exchanged. So there is a well-thought risk management strategy each and every technology user has to work. On top of that, from helping CFO, we have to, what Raghu has really said, there are a lot of areas where we can do some kind of implementers to our using the AI and ML, how we can predict the risk 1 month before or maybe quarter before, which kind of areas we are carrying this kind of risk. There I see technology can play a major role. And not only that, the regular awareness, a regular engagement with the function to identify what all risk they are carrying right now in terms of audit, in terms of vulnerabilities, in terms of overall health of organization. We should automate, we should do some kind of process automations to manage those risks and further kind of giving some result.
Absolutely. That's a great thing. Raghupati, would you like to add something?
I think he has beautifully encapsulated all of these points. So it will be kind of the risks are there, we all know. But what are the risks between different departments? And that need to be clearly told by the CIO to the all the departments there. So the risk awareness, the type of risk there, and then interdepartment coordination in terms of the mitigation of the risk, in terms of automated processes. That is where his deliverable comes in. And I think most of the things, 70-80% of the risk could be identified and mitigated by this. Thank you.
That's great. I think, Anand, I'm going to come to you for your side of the story now.
Yeah,
We've
so
met,
I'm just aligning with the yesterday. Madhukar is here, so yesterday we did this Bollywood night. So for CFO and CIO perspective, it's the kind of story of Sole. Okay, so of course Gabbar is CFO and I'm Thakur. So it start like this. Whenever we go with some kind of technology implementation, and I will tell you why it is important. Technology implementation with a lot of CapEx and OpEx. So CapEx and OpEx is my both the hand. One is CapEx, one is OpEx, and in the middle of that, my body is my technology. So whenever we knock the door of CFO asks, "Oh, Thakur." Okay, so once we enter to that room, after some of discussion, we feel like we are Sanjeev Kumar and both the hands are cut. So even we have gone with a lot of CapEx and OpEx, while discussing and coming out, our both the CapEx and OpEx has cut. So we become a Thakur now. So what Thakur did in movie Sole, because CFO, why I'm saying CFO is a gabbar, because CFO asks a lot of questions. Holi kab hai? Kitne aadmi the? Tumhara kya hoga Kalia? Okay. So a lot of questions that CFO asks, so CFO is a gabbar for me. And I'm always a Thakur where CapEx and OpEx cut. So I need Jai and Viru, okay? So who is Jai and Viru in enterprise, if we talk about? Because I have to make my initiative, my strategy where I can help HR, I can help finance, I can help internal within my function, I can help CEO. I have a lot of initiatives. I have a lot of thinkings. Thakur always thinks, you know. He wearing a shawl and thinking a lot of things. So similar like a CIO is also think, I will engage with HR and I will deliver something. I will make happy HR for doing the hire to retire process automation, okay? So they have a lot of energy. So, but Thakur need Jai and Viru to deal with Gabbar. So who is Jai and Viru in enterprise, if I ask? Any guesses? No. It's a business case, proper, well-thought business case is Jai, and there your technology roadmap is your Viru. Without that, if you go and discuss with CFO, I give you guarantee you will fail. And he will become a gabbar, he will ask more questions, and he will cut your both the CapEx and OpEx. So that's the story I wanted to tell. The key takeaway, whenever you are going for any discussion or any budget allocation for a technology, don't go and just put the technology initiative. Put us what kind of business you are problem you are going to solve. And then you can put how technology is going to give business outcome to CFO in terms of revenue increase, in terms of productivity increase, in terms of how we can better utilize the OpEx. So that's the kind of crux of this story.
Thank you, Anand. I think the camera has to focus on my legs. I'll roam around here like Sholay movie. Right? So it was the scene in Sholay movie. The gabbar was moving. It was in the legs first, and then it goes zoom, kind of thing. So nice way of putting it. Thank you. So basically, if you see, the CFO will want the automation of processes from CIO, and mostly into enterprise risk management, how to manage the risks. And in turns, what CFO could do for this thing is to understand the pain that he is going, as he rightly pointed out for the OPEX and CAPEX part, what is the technology roadmap that will go and why it is required. Because that way only something can be done. In any business, it is the duty of the CFO to have, if 1 rupee is spent, why it is there. From the entire business perspective, from the point of view of the promoters, the owners, the investors, the bankers, and all. So this is how it comes. And in turn, what CFO can do is that he has to get the voice of CIO heard in the right channel, in the right way, in the right to the board and the management of management above. So that, and in most of the companies, I think the CIO reports to the CFO.
Correct.
In our company also. So you don't have to be a Thakur in that way. You will have all your legs and hands to be intact, and the CFO will bet for you in any such way. So that's how it functions. So it has to be a partnership, and then only the deliverables could happen. And in cloud-based this thing, there are quite a few risks.
Sir, sorry for interjecting, sir, but Sholay was 3.5 hours, and I am already reading Times Up, so I can only say, "Bahut nainsafi hai." We'll have to finish the session because.
I think
Thank you.
In 10 seconds I was about to wrap up, which you took that 10 seconds.
No, sir, I did not, sir. Sir, the water was
So
up
I
to
was
here.
just-
Now it is up to here for me
We'll
because
take
the
just 10 more.
No problems. Please do, sir. Please do.
No, I was just wrapping it up. So that's how the collaboration has to happen between CFO and CIO in terms of all these things that we discussed. And then only the enterprise will reap the rewards in both cloud technology and in any technology also. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think I won't take another second, Madhuka. Thank you. This was an absolute pleasure. And this was Raghupati and Anand Sinha for us.
Thank you.
The CIO CFO conversation leaping into the cloud. Thank you so much, everyone.